Hello, what is up? So quick update. It is now July 22nd. And since I believe the last video I made, I haven't had any psychosis except for yesterday. No, Sunday. Sunday the 20th, July 20th. I had some psychosis in Saturday night when I went to sleep, and then I felt it all night, and then when I woke up, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in psychosis. Like I took paliperidone in the morning, like 1 in the morning, and then like kind of like what I did in the past. I started taking it like all throughout the day. Like I took one at 7 a.m. I took one at 1 p.m. Took one at 5 p.m. and then one at 7 p.m. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I've done that before in the past and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll be fine and stuff. Like I went about my day. I went to church that day. While like full blown hearing voices like crazy, like I was still able to function and stuff like that. And I went to the mall with my sister and her friend, and I got my hair cut. And yeah, there's definitely like some certain changes in my behavior. I think I was more impulsive and stuff like that. Like I bought like some sugary drinks that I normally wouldn't buy from Starbucks. Yeah, it's just, yeah, so certain things that like my appetite wasn't really there and stuff. I think probably maybe due to the psychosis and yeah, probably the psychosis. But yeah, what I want to say is like the next day is Monday, the 21st. And, so like I get up, I'm like, today's gonna be crappy today because like, I got all these antipsychotics in my system, but overall I'll be okay. I'll be able to jog, and I probably hopefully won't be hearing voices and stuff like that. But after I woke up, I was like, well, when I woke up, first of all, when I woke up in the night at 4 a.m., I was like, I woke up and I was like, I went to the kitchen to like get a drink of water. I woke up like at 4 a.m. And then when I went to walk to the kitchen, like I was like really lightheaded. And then when I turned the light on to pour the water for myself, and then drank the water. And when I went back to my room, it was all dark. Like the light was still in my eyes. Like my eyes didn't adjust. It took a long time to adjust. I'm like, oh damn. I'm like, these. I was like feeling so lightheaded. Like I almost like fell over. I was like, I probably took too much antipsychotics. Like so. And what's funny is like my doctor even said like he said like don't take 4 in one day because that's the maximum dose for an adult. So I figured I'd be okay. But he said, like, don't take 4 in one day if you do get psychosis and you want to do it, because what happens is your body is not used to having all that, is not used to taking antipsychotics, because I haven't had any antipsychotic in my system for like 2 months. So like when I put all that in my system, my system doesn't like, it can't fight it off and stuff. So like so like I'm getting like more lightheaded, and then the next day when I go for my like I go for like a run at 12 p.m. and so when I go for that run, I like it seems okay. Like after like the second half of my run, I'm starting to feel a little weird. Then I come home, I take a shower, and then when I like sit down to like meditate, like I notice like I'm starting to have like crazy EPS symptoms, extrapyramidal. I forgot what the S stands for. Extrapyramidal symptoms or something like that. EPS, and like you can't really like control your eyes, and like your mouth kind of like sometimes like contorts in a weird way, and like your breathing is like sometimes you have trouble breathing. But like I started having that, and I was like, damn, like this sucks really badly. Like I'm gonna be suffering for a while. Hopefully, like you feel like you're gonna die. Well, at that point, like when you can't control like your eyes, like they get stuck in a certain way and fixated. So like I'm like damn, like I don't want to call the hospital because I don't want to get admitted to the hospital for psychosis or something like that. And I've had EPS once or twice before at the hospital when they over medicated me. They gave me the injection of paliperidone, and then they gave me orals on top of that, and I had EPS symptoms. And like when you're having EPS symptoms at like the hospital, like they don't really do much for you. So I was like, you know what? They're not gonna be able to do much for me anyways. So like let me just sit here and just wait it out and stuff like that. Hopefully, like I'll be okay. Like like my heart's beating fast, and I'm like feeling like horrible and stuff like that, and like I hear a voice in my head. I'm like, it says like take vitamin C or something like that. So like so like I'm like, you know what, I'll try that. So I took some vitamin C like at 12:40 p.m. or something. I wrote it down on my phone. And then like and like an hour or two later, I'm like actually like starting to feel a little better. I'm like, yeah, this actually like is like working. And like at 4 p.m. a couple hours later, I'm like starting to feel really crappy again. I'm like, oh, maybe it's the vitamin C coming out of my system. So like I'm like meditating, like hearing voices and stuff. And then like 6 p.m. I take some more vitamin C, and then 7:30 p.m. I take some more vitamin C. I take like a quarter teaspoon out of the powder, so it's like about a gram, or like I took a quarter teaspoon at 12 p.m. dose, and then like the 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. dose, I took half a quarter teaspoon, so like I took like 500 milligrams or half a gram. So I did that, and I started to feel a lot better. So I'm like, yeah, that's good and stuff like that. But like now I know, like in the future, like I'm never gonna take 4 in one day again, because if your body's been off antipsychotics and you take that much at once, you can get EPS symptoms, or you can screw yourself up over badly. Like I almost thought I was gonna die. Like I felt horrible. So like yeah, I'm only gonna take at most 2 in a 24-hour period. Probably take like 2 in the morning when I first wake up, and then just like no matter what happens, how much psychosis I feel or whatever, I'm just gonna take 2, and then the next day I'll take another 2 if I'm still feeling psychosis. So yeah, I just want to update on that. And you know what I might actually try next time too is I might try taking vitamin C a little bit too, see if that eases the psychosis a little bit, because it helped with the EPS, and I think it also helped with the voices too. Like I started hearing less voices when my body had vitamin C. Maybe it's an antioxidant, so maybe like it helps with the oxidative stress in your system, and like maybe like it can like help counter like your imbalances, or like whatever's going on in your body. But yeah, so like I'd be very careful with that. I gotta be very careful not to smoke weed, because I smoked weed last Sunday, and then a week later I got weed-induced psychosis. So I want to not smoke weed. I'm trying not to ever do that again. I always want to make sure like my mental health is in a good place. I'm meditating, and overall I think like I'm doing. I was doing like better, because I think because I got my last injection, paliperidone injection, like in January 2025. So like it's been like 6 months now. So I think like it's finally like almost fully out of my system probably. So like I when I started like meditating again, because like I took a month off of meditating to like look for housing and stuff like that. But like so like like my body that really like messed up my mental health, which is why I actually turned back to weed for like a week. So like again in the future, if I ever want to like do something else, I always gotta maintain my focus on meditating, so that my mental health doesn't decrease like that again. But yeah, I took a month off, and when I started meditating again, I felt like a lot more emotions. Like I was like actually like starting to like cry and like tear up about certain things. Like I was like for example, like just like going on a jog, and like I was just like looking at the beauty of the greenery, and like I was like starting to tear up. I was like, damn, this is like so beautiful. It was like I was just like I felt like way more emotionally in tune. So I think that's really good sign that like the antipsychotic is like almost out of my system. So yeah, just want to continue experimenting with that, and like seeing where that leads me, and hopefully I'll be like fully, I want to like become fully balanced, and like explore where my mental emotional health takes me with meditation, and go from there. But yeah, just for future reference, I'm not going to take 4 in one day again, and I'm going to try vitamin C. If I do get in psychosis, maybe it helps a little bit. Take some vitamin C too. Other than that, I'm just gonna keep meditating and fighting the good fight. And I think that is it for this video. If I have any more updates, I will continue to make videos and see where that goes. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Stay safe out there.